Trump finds fault with Putin and Zelenskyy as he pushes for a deal to end war. President Donald Trump lashed out at both Vladimir Putin and Volodymyr Zelensky on Sunday, expressing frustration with the Russian and Ukrainian leaders as he struggles to forge a truce to end the war. Although Trump insisted to reporters that we are making a lot of progress, he acknowledged that there is tremendous hatred between the two men, a fresh indication that negotiations may not produce the swift conclusion that he promised during the campaign. Trump began voicing his criticisms in an early morning interview with NBC News while he was at Mar-a-Lago, his private club in Florida. He said he was angry, pissed off that Putin questioned Zelensky's credibility. The Russian leader recently said that Zelensky lacks the legitimacy to sign a peace deal and suggested that Ukraine needed external governance. Trump said he would consider adding new sanctions on Russia, which already faces steep financial penalties, and using tariffs to undermine its oil exports. The Republican president rarely criticizes Putin as he has previously attacked Zelensky's credibility himself. For example, Trump has suggested that Ukraine caused the war that began with a Russian invasion 3 years ago, and he has insisted that Zelensky should hold elections even though it's illegal under Ukraine's constitution to do so during martial law. On his flight back to Washington on a Sunday evening, Trump reiterated his annoyance towards Putin but somewhat softened his tone. I don't think he's going to go back on his word, he said. I have known him for a long time. We have always gotten along well. Asked when he wanted Russia to agree to a ceasefire, Trump said there was a psychological deadline. If I think they are tapping us along, I will not be happy about it, he said. Trump soon pivoted to criticize Zelensky. He is trying to back out of the rare earth deal, Trump said, referring to negotiations over US access to critical minerals in Ukraine. And if he does that, he's got some problems, big problems. Trump and Zelensky were supposed to sign the deal when the Ukrainian leader visited the White House. However, their meeting ended with acrimony that played out in front of television cameras in the Oval Office. Trump suggested on Sunday that Zelensky wanted to renegotiate the deal to get better security guarantees. He wants to be a member of NATO, he said. Well, he was never going to be a member of NATO. He understands that. The US has been pushing for a comprehensive ceasefire deal between Russia and Ukraine to peacefully end their 3-year-old war. Russia has effectively rejected a US proposal for an immediate and full 30-day halt in the fighting, and the feasibility of a practical ceasefire on the Black Sea was thrown into doubt after Kremlin negotiations imposed far-reaching conditions. Trump's comments on Putin come after weeks of intense pressure on Ukraine to agree to a ceasefire. Russian drones hit Ukraine's second largest city, Kharkiv. Meanwhile, Russian drones hit a military hospital, shopping center, and apartment blocks in Ukraine's second largest city in Kharkiv, killing 2 people and wounding dozens. Ukraine's general staff denounced the deliberate targeted shelling of the military hospital late Saturday. Among the casualties were services members who were undergoing treatment. It said regional government Ole Sinehubov said those killing were a 67-year-old man and a 70-year-old woman. According to Ukrainian government and military analysts, Russian forces are preparing to launch a fresh military offensive in the coming weeks to maximize pressure on Kyiv and strengthen the Kremlin's negotiation position in ceasefire talks. Ukraine's Air Force reported that Russia fired 111 exploding drones and decoys in the latest wave of attacks overnight into Sunday. It said 65 of them were intercepted and another 35 were lost, likely having been electronically jammed. Zelensky said Sunday that over the past week, most regions of Ukraine came under Russian attack. Writing on X, he said 1,310 Russian guided aerial bombs, over 1,000 attack drones, mostly Shaheds, and 9 missiles of various types, including ballistic ones, and had been launched against Ukraine. Zelensky also reported his assertion that Russia is dragging out the war, echoing comments he made Thursday in Paris that Russia is prolonging ceasefire talks just to buy time and then try to grab more land. Russia's Ministry of Defense, meanwhile, said its air defense systems shot down 6 Ukrainian drones. It also claimed Sunday that its troops had taken control of a village in Ukraine's partly occupied Donetsk region. The Russian claim could not be independently verified, and Ukraine did not comment. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you, everyone. Bye.